There's a great deal of concern about what's happening with North Korea here. The president keeping a very close eye on these developments. As you had mentioned, just going into the July 4th weekend, there are threats from North Korea that it's going to launch a long-range missile in the direction of Hawaii. So the Secretary of Defense, Gates, says he's adding greater protections just in case. There's also that other development where you've got a U.S. naval ship that is tracking a North Korean vessel they suspect of carrying illegal weapons, all a part of the trying to enforce these sanctions against North Korea. And this comes at a time when the president was asked over the weekend and he felt it necessary to respond that the United States is ready, it is prepared for any kind of provocation when it comes to North Korea. I want you to take a listen.
We are prepared for any contingencies. I don't want to speculate on hypotheticals, but I do want to give assurances to the American people that the T's are crossed and the I's are dotted in terms of what might happen. More broadly, I think the international community here has spoken.
Catherine, that was on CBS, the early show, and one of the things that the president emphasized is that he is not necessarily talking about a military response or putting that on the front table there. He really is talking about the international response. He doesn't want to make this United States versus North Korea. He mentions Japan, China, South Korea, Russia, the UN Security Council, all of these different entities working together to try to get North Korea to change its behavior. We will see what happens the July 4th weekend. If that threat in fact comes true, we will see what is aboard that North Korean ship at some point to see whether or not that is actually working. But that's what the president is trying to emphasize, at least right now.
All right, very
Catherine?
interesting. And let's move on now to the tobacco legislation. Doesn't the president smoke? I'm interested on your take on this. And he is expected to sign this into law, this anti-smoking bill today, right?
You're absolutely right, and that's a very good point that good observation that you're making there, kind of the backstory, which is, yes, the president has smoked in the past. We are told that he still struggles with nicotine addiction. We're not sure if that means he is smoking currently or if he's has gum. He used to actually chew the Nicorette gum during the campaign. He has acknowledged from time to time that he's fallen off the wagon, if you will. So I do think, and we have been told, that the president is going to talk a little bit about his own personal struggle with smoking. And having said that, he is going to sign what is really rather significant here, because this is the Food and Drug Administration regulating the tobacco companies here. So what you're talking about is that FDA would now be able to reduce the levels of nicotine in cigarettes to make sure that those tobacco companies do that. It would give the FDA power to ban candy and fruit flavored cigarettes, which are considered attractive to kids and new time smokers. It would also prohibit tobacco companies from using the terms like low tar or light or mild, and would require tougher, bigger warning labels on some of these cigarette packages. So this is really putting quite a bit of teeth behind this. This is legislation that the former President George W. Bush very much opposed, had threatened to veto. This is something that President Obama believes is important to support.
You know, it's interesting, Suzanne, I didn't even know that there were fruit-flavored and candy-flavored cigarettes out there. I mean, that's clearly going for the younger crowd, isn't it?
Well, it certainly is something that in this legislation targeted immediately and realized this could certainly encourage young smokers, first-time smokers to make this a very attractive, appealing process, the whole idea of smoking. And so that's one thing that they went after pretty heavy, and that's what they got.